Hello, fourth grade, and welcome to lesson 7-4. For this lesson, we're going to be talking about prime and composite numbers. Now, we're going to learn those different vocabulary words. Prime numbers are whole numbers that are greater than 1 that have only two factor pairs. So that number times itself, which means the only way you can make that number is that number times 1 or 1 times that number. We're also going to learn about composite numbers. Now, composite numbers are also whole numbers that are greater than 1, but they have more than two factor pairs. So for example, the number 4. You can make 4 by doing 1 times 4 or 2 times 2. So the factors for 4 are 1 and 2 and 4. So they have 3 different factors. For example, if you want to find the factor pairs of 12, you have 1 times 12 is 12, 2 times 6 is 12, and 3 times 4 is 12. So you have 6 different factors for the number 12. Let's go ahead and watch our short video and then jump into our notes and guided practice together.
How can you identify prime and composite numbers?
Let's find out.
A prime number is a whole number greater than 1 that has exactly two factors, 1 and itself. A composite number is a whole number greater than 1 that has more than two factors. You can use arrays to look at prime and composite numbers. Is the number 5 a prime number or a composite number?
Now here, remember, we said prime numbers are numbers that have exactly two factors, 1 and themselves, and composite numbers have more than two factors. So since the only way we can make 5 is 1 times 5 or 5 times 1, 5 is a prime number.
The number 5 is a prime number because it has only two factors, 1 and itself. How can you use arrays to show that 5 is a prime number? The only arrays possible are 1 row of 5 and 5 rows of 1. Both arrays use the same factors. Is the number 6 a prime number or a composite number? Explain.
Select your answer.
Now here we're going to look at the number 6. So the way that we can make the number 6 is by doing 1 times 6, or we can do 2 times 3. Now since the number 6 has more than one way to make it, that means it has more than just those two factors of 1 in itself. That makes it a composite number.
The number 6 is a composite number because it is a whole number greater than 1 and it has more than two factors. The factors for 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. Is there more than one way to represent any composite number? How do you know? Yes, there is more than one way to represent any composite number because every composite number has more than two factors. The number 1 is a special number. It is neither prime nor composite. Why is 1 neither a prime number nor a composite number?
Now for this question, we need to stop and think about what prime and composite mean. Now the definition of them is that they are a whole number greater than 1. For a prime number, it has to have exactly two factors. So the only way you can make 1 is doing 1 times 1, which means it doesn't have two factors. It only has one factor, which means it is neither prime nor composite because both of those require you to have at least two factors.
1 is neither a prime number nor a composite number because it has only one factor, itself. Now you have learned how to identify prime numbers and composite numbers.
All right, let's get into our notes. Now over here at the top, I've put our vocabulary. Of course, we've got our title. So we have the definition of prime numbers and the definition of composite numbers. Remember, we said a prime number is a whole number that's greater than 1 and has exactly 2 factors, 1 and the number itself. So 3 is a prime number, 5 is a prime number, 7, 11, these are all prime numbers. A composite number is a whole number that's greater than 1 that has more than 2 factors. So for example, the number 4. I can make 4 by doing 4 times 1 or 2 times 2. Either one of those are going to give me an answer of 4. I can also use, for example, the number 15. For the number 15, I can do 15 times 1, or I could also do 3 times 5, and so on. So I made a small table over here, similar to the one that you saw, listing a number and the factors. So you can see that some of these are prime numbers and some of them are composite numbers. And I listed some interesting facts. So the number 1, we said, is neither prime nor composite because it only has 1 factor itself. 2 is the only even number that is also a prime number. Because it's so small, the only factors of 2 are 1 and itself. So 1 and 2. Every other even number is a composite number. So for the examples I put for you down here, we're going to decide if each one of these numbers is prime or composite. So the first number I gave you is the number 16. So the first thing when you're thinking, is 16 prime or composite, think of all the different ways that you can make 16. Now we know that 16 can always be made by 1, so 1 and 16, but we also know that it's an even number, so we can make it using 2, 2 times 8 or 8 times 2. We can also make 16 doing 4 times 4. So 16 is composite. The factors of 16 are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. Next, we have the number 23. The only way I was able to make 23 is 1 times 23 or 23 times 1. So the only factors of 23 are 1 and itself, which makes it a prime number. Next, we have the number 48. And I listed all the different ways to make 48. 1 is always a factor, so 1 and 48. Since it's an even number, we can divide it by 2. So 2 times 24, or 24 times 2. 48 can also be divided by 3. 3 times 16, or 16 times 3. 4 times 12, or 12 times 4. Then 6 times 8, or 8 times 6. So we know that 48 is a composite number because all of the factors of 48 include 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, and 48. So remember, you're working through it 1 digit at a time, trying to figure out if there are any shortcuts you can follow. If it's an even number, you know that's going to divide by 2. If it ends with a 5 or a 0, you know it's going to be 5 is going to be a factor, and so on. Use what you know of your math facts to help you figure these out. Now let's take a look at our guided practice. For your guided practice on this lesson, the first question says, what is the only even prime number? Now we know that 2, because we just talked about that, 2 is the only even prime number because of how small it is. The only factors are 1 and itself, so 1 and 2. For number 2, it says, write an odd number that isn't prime. What makes it a composite number? So an odd number that isn't prime, you can pick anything. I picked 9. 9 is an odd number, and it's also composite because we can make 9 by doing 1 times 9 or 3 times 3. So the factors of 9 are 1 and 3 and 9. You could have also picked 15, for example. 15 is an odd number. And we found out already previously that the factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5, and 15. Our next question says, Roger has 47 cars. Can he group the cars more than 2 ways? Now we're going to try and work out how to make 47. And the only ways to make 47 are by multiplying it by 1. So since 47 is a prime number, the only ways to make it are 1 times 47 or 47 times 1. Now for numbers 4 through 9, we're looking to find out if the numbers that they gave us are prime or composite. So what I did over here is I listed all of the factors and factor pairs and then decided whether it's prime or composite. So for the number 32, I can do it 32 times 1, 16 times 2, or 4 times 8. So since the factors of 32 are 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32, that makes it a composite number. Anytime it has more than 2 factors, it's composite. Next, we have the number 51. So 51 and 1 obviously are factors, but 17 times 3 is also a way to make 51. So my factors are 1, 3, 17, 51. Now, since there are more than 2 factors, this one is also composite. Next, we have the number 73. The only way to make 73 is to multiply it by 1. So this one is a prime number because the factors are only 1 and 73. For the number 21, 21 can be made by doing 1 times 21 or 3 times 7. So the factors are 1, 3, 7, and 21. Since there are more than 2 factors, that makes it composite. For the number 95, we can do 1 and 95 or 5 and 19. Those are 2 ways to make 95. Since, again, this has more than 2 factors, it's composite. And then the number 29, we found out is a prime number because the only way we were able to make 29 is by multiplying it by 1 by itself. So 1 times 29 was the only way to make 29. Go ahead and watch any additional instructional videos in Google Classroom to help you figure out prime and composite numbers. If you have any questions on this lesson, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Take care, 4th grade. Bye-bye.